G'day! In today's video I'm just having a bit of a teardown or look inside of a Asus E410 which you should be able to see. Yeah. So this particular model, the main reason why I'm getting into it is that it seems to have some issue where it doesn't want to turn on. So what I'm wanting to do is open it up, disconnect the battery, connect it directly to power, and see how I go from there. So to begin with, I'm going to use just a small Phillips head screwdriver and take out all the visible screws. And along the way, we'll learn a little bit about this machine. So far, one positive I'm liking is the screws seem to be of all equal length, except the front ones. Now, being that this machine is running a Celeron processor, I'm curious if the RAM is also soldered, same with the hard drive, which we'll find that out quite quickly. Now, if I grab myself a pry tool, either these or a bank card, and I'm just going to open it up just slightly to see where the seam is. There we go. So if I slide through here and twist, this is coming off very easy. It's all made of plastic, top and bottom. We open it up. We see a whole lot of non-upgradable hardware. And it's almost comical how small this is. So let's zoom it in and I'll go over what we got. So to begin with, we have a 42 watt-hour battery smack bang here in the center, but also with the amount of groove and space around it, it could essentially be a much larger battery in here. Also looking up here, the potential for much more capacity is there. So the battery is removable, pretty straightforward. Connector over here, pull that way, and then lift up and back. And we're disconnected. We look over here, we have one downwards facing speaker, another downwards facing speaker. Over here we have the I/O, which on here contains the hard drive activity light, micro SD and USB. And while it's open, being it's all made of plastic, it's probably worth checking your hinges, just torquing them up to spec. The I/O connector itself, also fairly straightforward. Flick the darker color up, and then you should be able to pull that back like that. That would disconnect and reconnect it back in, push the little tab down. There we go. Now, may have been a little bit hasty with the upgradability. At least here looks to be a slot for an M.2 NVMe, or at least going by the age, this is produced in 2020. I would assume that this would be an NVMe, not a SATA. But it is missing the screw, so you do need to provide your own screw to upgrade the hard drive in here. We have one little connector here that I'm not sure what it is, but it's in the up position, so I don't know why it would be like that, considering nothing's in there. Keyboard connector, I'm not sure what FP is standing for, but that's also open. I'll click that back down. We do have a removable wireless card here, so we do the same as before. Flick that up, pull it back. I have one wireless card there. Spin it around. We are a, I'm not sure of the exact model, AW-CB304NF. So now I'll put this back into position. And just push down flat. Pull the tab back down. Reconnected. Now under here would be the Celeron processor in question, assumably right here, under this very thin, yet potentially all copper cooler. Going off to the side here, we have the connector for the display, earthing. These are still all nice and tight. And then going along here, we have headphone jack, Type C, USB, HDMI, and the power adapter with the barrel connector over here. As you can see, that this is not really in a convenient spot to replace if it's damaged. So if it's damaged, you would have to remove the main board to be able to replace that. So that is something to note. Now, while I've got the power disconnected, or the battery disconnected, I'm going to connect it up to some power and hit the power button and see if I can get this to wake up. Now, if I just move one thing to here, as you can see, we are now powering up once more. So according to the customer, this has happened a few times on this particular machine where it's just completely refused to power up. So previously when it was brought into me just then, it was not waking up at all. I'd stick it on power and it wouldn't actually do anything at all either. But since I've now disconnected the battery, it is waking it up. So oddly, that may be a recurring issue. I'm not sure if there's a further manufacturing fault here. Hello. So with it now cooperating, I'll put the battery back on. Click that on, and then I want to slide this little metal bit forward. There we go. And now I should be able to get a nail on it. And I just pulled that down that way. And now we're locked on. If I open it up now and hit the power button, so I'm hitting the power button now, and I'm getting a whole lot of nothing. So I'm suspecting this may have a faulty battery. Plug the power back in. I've got a light down the bottom here. Power button on. And we're switching on. Power button off. We're off. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm just going to seal it back up from here. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward thing to do. Put the cover on. Push down. Click it into position. And just need to remember that the smaller screws go along the front, larger screws go along the back, and it should be pretty right from there. So I hope this helps with anything that you need to do on this particular model of Asus. But I'm going to catch you guys later. Bye.